When someone loses their job over things that they cannot control, my heart goes out for them. What do I mean by things they cannot control? For example, if someone loses their job because of a recession, or that business is closing down because they're not making a profit, that I feel bad for them. Why? Because they're not in control of that. They're not in control of them losing their jobs. However, if someone loses their jobs over things that they can control, for example, let's say showing up to work late every single day, giving a poor performance every single day, that I do believe they deserve to get fired for. If the person is a danger or the performance endanger the safety of the coworkers and the customers as well, then I do believe that that person deserves to get fired, and I wouldn't feel bad for them. In fact, I would enjoy it very much. Why? Because once they get fired, that spot is open to a potential worker that has good work ethic. And the thing is that with me, I judge people at my job. I judge them based on their work ethic. I don't care what they've done in the past. I don't care what they do or what their personal lives are. For me, I know a good worker based on the work ethic. Meaning, if they're always coming on time, they're always willing to do what needs to be done. Meaning, they need to do their job. In this case, they always give it their all. I say that person is a good worker. Why? Because they know they're here to work. They know their responsibilities as a worker. But when someone decides to come in late all the time, decides to go on their breaks and come back 10 minutes, 30 minutes late when they're not supposed to, or when, let's say, when they're doing their job, they just don't seem to care, they take their sweet time, that person, I believe that they're not good workers and they deserve to get fired. A good example. Tuesday, as I'm recording this video on Thursday as of today, on Tuesday, we had a delivery. I'm not going to mention this co-worker's name because I want to respect his privacy, but it's just two people, right? Our shipments are never that big. You know, they're never that big. It usually takes us like 3 hours to put everything back. We have to rotate the stuff, meaning we have to put in the new stuff for like at the very back, and we have to put in like the older stuff in the front. We can take those out first. That way we don't have to. That way they don't expire. So we usually get rid of the freezer first. You know, we always get rid of everything in the freezer. Once we're done with the freezer, I told the other employee, the one who's helping me with the delivery, I told him, hey, once we're done with the freezer, go on a 30-minute break. He's like, okay. So he goes. I start putting everything that goes in the refrigerator. You know, milk. You know, ice cream mix and all that stuff. All that stuff. Basically, anything that's refrigerated, that goes in there, right? I put away the lettuce, the tomatoes. What else? The yogurt, right? I start putting everything away. In 30 minutes, I finish like around 3/4 of what needs to be done. The only thing that's left are 3 boxes of American cheese, 4 boxes of ice cream mix, and then just like I think was like eight cartons. Not really cartons because they're not really in a box, but they're like in a box with sort of plastic over it. Basically, like eight cartons of the milk. You know, 3 of white milk and 5 of chocolate milk, and that's pretty much all he needs. That's all he needs. Oh, and also 3 boxes of eggs. So it's not a lot, right? That's all he needs to put away for the refrigeration. After that, we can just put away all the dry stuff, you know, napkins, straws, etc. So when he comes back, we have a little dolly, right? The things that in the wheels, you can, you know, carry the stuff, and you have to use your hands. You have to carry them individually one by one. So in 30 minutes, you know, I get almost everything done for the refrigeration. He comes back, and I tell him, hey, all you need is this. All you need is to put all the milk, put away the case of eggs, the ice cream mix, and the cheese. That's all you need. Okay? That's all you need. He says, okay. And keep in mind, I'm not a very fit guy. I work out from time to time, but I'm not a very fit guy. The guy that's helping me out, I would say he's more fit than I am. Okay? He's a little bit skinnier, he's a little bit more muscle. And you would expect that if I managed to get 75% done in 30 minutes, then you would expect a guy that's more fit than I am to be able to get rid of that in a heartbeat, right? Like by the time I come back, he's already doing dry stuff. That's pretty much what's expected. So I tell him, here, you don't have much, just go and put away this. I'll just put away the eggs, ice cream mix, and the cheese. That's all we need to put away. Okay. So I go on my 30-minute break. When I come back, what do you think was left over? I'm just curious. I want you to take a second to think about it. What do you think was left over for the refrigeration? Okay, time's up. You want to know what was left over? The eggs, the ice cream mix, the cheese. The only thing you put away in 30 minutes were just the milk. How pathetic is that? So when I come back, I'm out for my break. I see this employee, right? He's leaning on one of the pillars because the front part of the restaurant is leaning on a pillar, right? His back was facing towards me, and he's listening to music. He's like, he's listening to music, right? So I stand there. I'm thinking, okay, how am I gonna get this little dumbass's attention? Again, that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking, how am I gonna get this little dumbass's attention? So I'm thinking for a minute, I was like, do I just call him out on it? Do I point out that he hasn't put anything away? Because again, he only put away the milk. So I left him with the milk. So he only put away the milk. Everything else was left there for 30 minutes. Okay. So I get mad, right? I'm thinking, okay, what am I gonna tell him to make him know that I'm mad, but not obviously chew him out on it? Because I wanted to. Trust me, I wanted to. So I'm thinking for a minute, okay, what am I gonna do? What am I doing? So after I thought about it, I just said, hey. Obviously called him by name, but I'm not gonna mention his name. I was like, hey. I was like, yeah, I'm back from my break. Oh, okay. So we finished the refrigeration stuff, and for a minute I was like, are you serious, dude? But I said, yeah, let's finish the refrigeration stuff. Like I literally told him, I was like, dude, you are pathetic, and that kind of tone. He's like, okay. So we put everything away, and again, for you thinking, well, Carlos, what's the big deal? The big deal is the fact that the stuff that was left over are perishable items. Like really, they're really perishable. We're talking about they're literally in the sun. It's like the sun's already come out, okay? And they're in the sun. We're talking about cheese, ice cream mix, and eggs. The eggs I try to put away first because they're easily perishable. The eggs and sorry, not the eggs. The ice cream mix and the cheese were getting blocked off from the sun, so they weren't getting as direct sunlight, and they weren't getting as much damage from the heat. But we put away the eggs first, and again, that stuff is easily perishable. It really is. And one thing that annoys me when I do delivery is that they always put the perishable stuff at the very bottom. And I'm thinking, why? Why? I need to put that stuff away first, otherwise it's going to go bad a lot faster. But anyways, the point is, the guy didn't do anything for those 30 minutes that I was gone. He only put away the milks, but that's it. That's it. So I got pretty mad. And the thing is that this isn't the first time either. He does this all the time. He takes a sweet time whenever we're doing delivery. Every 5 minutes, hey, I need to get some water. 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 Hey, I need to go to the bathroom. Every 5 minutes, he finds an excuse not to do his job. So, on Tuesday after done delivery, I told the general manager, hey, this guy doesn't want to work. He just sits around, expects me to do most of the work, and I'm sick of it. He's been working for you guys for 2 years, and he doesn't seem to care. And then the general manager was like, yeah, I know. I told the supervisor Ron already. He's been pushing me to find someone else because he clearly doesn't want to do it. I was like, I know, but can you at least give me someone? Either give me someone new, or I can do it by myself. I can just have him do the freezer. I'll put away the refrigeration and everything else. Because I do not want him working. I do not want him working with me. He doesn't do anything. Every time when he puts away something, he finds out someone to talk to for 2 minutes, and then he comes back and I'm thinking, are you serious, dude? Like, and it takes us 3 hours. On Tuesday, the driver came in an hour late, so he was working at 7. We're supposed to 3 hours. So at 8, we were supposed to be done by what? 9, 10, 11. We're supposed to be done by 12, 11, I think. 8, 9, 10, 11. No, 11, right? We're supposed to be done by 11. Started at 8. We're supposed to be done by 11. You want to know when we were done with the shipment? Like everything we got? 1 o'clock. So it took us 5 hours to put away a small shipment. And that's the smallest one we get for the week. I think it was on Friday or Saturday. We get the biggest one. They give them an extra person. But for a small shipment, it took us 5 hours to put away everything. That pisses me off. And I tell you right now, that type of coworker, the guy that helped me out with the delivery, and I say help in quotes, that guy, if he were to get fired, I would enjoy it, and I would enjoy it very much. Because clearly this guy doesn't seem to care. He doesn't care. He just cares about the paycheck, and then he always complains about he wants to go home early. If he were to get fired tomorrow, I would enjoy it very much. I really would. I really would, because that guy clearly doesn't want to work. Like I said, don't call me heartless if you want. But if the person gets fired over things that they can't control, in this case their job performance or their attitude or their performance, and then you're the safety of other people, then they deserve to get fired. And I would enjoy it very much. And because of Carlos Maza, apparently he's leaving Vox. But like I said, I believe he got fired. He says he's leaving Vox because he's being harassed on Twitter. But let's see what the article reads. So, Carlos Maza, the controversial host of the show Strike Through, appears to be on the way out at Vox Media. Maza was engaged in a running battle with right-wing provocateur Steven Crowder. I don't know why they're calling Steven Crowder provocateur. He's more of a comedian. I mean, provocateur meaning that they're purposely trying to provoke people into reacting a certain way. Steven Crowder, I don't think he does that. But anyways, keep going. Who the openly gay Latino, Maza says, has been attacking them with rants he considers racist and homophobic. Maza pressured YouTube in June to take down Crowder's video channel as hate speech. At first, YouTube refused to take down the channel, saying it did not violate YouTube's guidelines, but then relented and agreed to demonetize the site, but not totally ban it. Maza also had Tucker Carlson in his crosshairs. Tucker Carlson is a white supremacist and YouTube profits from hate speech, he tweeted. Maza's Twitter handle reads @GayWonk. Initially, sources said Vox executives had supported him in the battle with Crowder, but as Maza wanted to escalate the all-out war, their support seemed to wane. Attempts to reach Maza via email were unsuccessful, although he posted on Twitter, "Hello from the shakiest few weeks of my life," on August 11th. That triggered this response from one of his fans, Shannon P. Duffy. "Hear the voices of your legions of fans. We value your voice. You are our warrior. We love and need you. The shrapnel of haters cannot pierce the armor we give you. Trust in this." Vox Media did not return calls seeking comment, but one source said Maza is negotiating a severance package. Severance package. Isn't a severance package supposed to be something that happens when someone is unemployed, or that basically loses a job unwillingly? Let me check, because I don't know if I could be wrong. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, my internet's a little slow. Yeah, I remember looking this up a little earlier this month. I forgot. I couldn't forget the dimension. But yeah, here it is. A pay and benefit. Severance package is pay and benefits employees receive when they leave unemployment and a company unwillingly. So if he's getting a severance package, then he shouldn't. Then apparently he's not leaving on his own free will. He's not leaving saying, you know what, here's my resignation. I'm done. He's being forced to leave. So I don't know why they're giving him a severance package if he's leaving on his own accord. Again, this is why I think he got fired. Either that or they pushed him to get fired, right? But the point is, here's the thing. Vox, they supported Maza with Crowder. Crowder could be a little bit edgy, he's a comedian. I listen to his show sometimes. I think he's funny to some degree. I honestly think he's funny. I like edgy comedy. There's sometimes he makes jokes about Hispanics and I laugh. I still laugh. Like, no joke, I still laugh at Hispanic jokes sometimes. He does those too. But when Maza wanted to he targeted all of YouTube. Basically the whole, the apocalypse, that's what they called it on YouTube, the apocalypse. A lot of content creators were getting affected because Maza wanted to basically end Crowder. His little personal beef with Crowder ended up affecting a lot of content creators on YouTube, and they were pissed. People like Geeks and Gamers, like Josiah Rises, Mindless Entertainment, they were all pissed because Maza had a little temper tantrum, and even though he says he has thick skin, he got his feelings hurt because Steven Crowder said a lot of mean things. See what I mean? So I wasn't surprised when Vox said, you know what, you're making enemies when you shouldn't. We're not gonna support you on this. We'll support you with Crowder, but we're not gonna pick fights with everyone you hate. So what happened was that they decided to step back, and Carlos Maza decided to ramp it up, right? And it isn't just Carlos Maza who thinks he's an innocent guy and thinking again, oh, he's gay, Carlos. He could never do no wrong. No, I don't think gay people are I don't think gay people are all bad, but I think there's some good people there in the LGBTQ community. But bad character, evil traits, they're not exclusive to just straight people. They're not exclusive to just white men. You can be gay, you can be trans, you can be transgender. Doesn't matter. You can even identify yourself as a black cat. Doesn't matter. Evil traits, bad character, can be found on anything. I judge people based on their character. Carlos Maza, on his Twitter, he tweeted. He literally incentivizes milkshaking people. Milkshake them all. Make them dread public organizing, right? That's what he pretty much said. Throw milkshakes at people. Why? Use intimidation to make them feel afraid of speaking out with their own opinions. Now, who do you think he's going to target with those milkshakes? People he disagrees with, mostly conservatives, right? But here's the thing. People say, what's a milkshake, Carlos? What can a milkshake do? It's not a matter of the fact what the milkshake does. It's what people put in those milkshakes. They can put acid, they can put chemicals, they can put razors, anything, right? Or in the case of Portland, when Antifa was going on and they attacked Andy No, they threw milkshakes that were literally filled with quick-dry cement. And they say that's harmless. Andy Ngo ended up going to the hospital. And this is why I tell you that Carlos Maza deserved to get fired. That is if he's getting fired. But if he is getting fired, I think he deserves it. His job performance endangered the safety of his coworkers and the safety of other people, innocent people. Andy Ngo is just he's a gay journalist. He just happens to be that type of, he just happens to be that member of the LGBTQ community that doesn't buy the propaganda that the left is always spewing out. He criticizes Antifa because he knows Antifa is violent, and when Antifa attacks one of a member of Carlos Maza's LGBTQ community, what does Carlos Maza say? I don't want to comment. He turns a blind eye. Even though he said he fights for the LGBTQ community, he fights for minorities. Well, guess what, Carlos? Andy Ngo is a gay man who also happens to be a minority. How come you're not defending him? Oh, wait, that's right, because he doesn't buy your lying propaganda. He doesn't buy your propaganda. He doesn't buy your BS. Okay? And he criticizes Antifa. So I'm pretty sure that's why Carlos Maza turned a blind eye. He didn't care. While Carlos Maza was celebrating the last day of Pride Month, Andy Ngo was in the hospital. It's really sad. And I think that if Carlos Maza is really getting fired, he deserves it. Not only did he endanger his co-workers, again, Vox, I don't care what you think about Vox. Okay? But Carlos Maza, he's notorious for working at Vox. His actions, his behavior basically branded Vox in negative light. They basically, of course, Vox is already, stereotypically known for its left-wing, fake news, stuff like that. But even then, people there that work, you're basically endangering them to some degree. You're putting their lives in danger. Carlos Maza was literally bringing people in when they didn't even want to join. Okay? So again, his job performance endangered the safety of others, either his co-workers, and even if he didn't, his job performance endangered the lives of innocent people. His little tweet that says milkshake them all resulted in Andy Ngo going to the hospital because the so-called milkshake had quick dry cement in it. So again, if you get fired because of your poor job performance or your job performance endangered the safety of your coworkers or the safety of your customers or innocent people, then you deserve to get fired, and I feel no sympathy for that. But people get fired over things that they cannot control, recession or business going on or the business closing down. That I do feel bad for them. But Carlos Maza, if he's getting fired, I literally feel zero sympathy, no sympathy for this guy. He literally tried to create a war. He targeted people he didn't like. He incited violence, and what happened? A guy ends up getting sent to the hospital because of a milkshake. Yeah, a milkshake. Yeah, a milkshake with quick dry cement, and they say they're harmless. See what I mean? Like I said, let me know what you guys think. Do you think Carlos Maza is getting fired? Or do you think he's actually leaving? Because again, a severance package is not something you would get if you're leaving willingly, meaning you're putting your resignation. Okay, so again. Because again, also at the same time too, it doesn't look like Vox is going out of business. So I don't think Maza is leaving because Vox is going out of business. So the only reason left that it could happen is that he's getting fired. They're kicking him out because we're not in a recession. I mean, the economy is doing great. Vox is not closing down. It's not closing its business. At least from what I know. Maybe they're not telling us something. Maybe they're not telling us something that we should know. But the point is, if Vox is not closing and it's not closing its business, and there's no recession, then chances are Carlos Maza got fired due to his performance. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Carlos Maza is actually getting fired? Do you think he's actually leaving on his own free will? At the same time, do you agree with my mentality, right? That if someone gets fired because of things they cannot control, recession or business closing down, do you agree with the way that I feel sympathy for people who lose their jobs? Again, recession or business closing down, I feel bad for them. They get fired because of poor job performance and etc. Right? And their job performance endangers the safety of others and and the co-workers, etc. Do you agree with the way I think? Right? Because again, if Carlos Maza is getting fired, I feel he deserves it because his rhetoric basically got a lot of people hurt. But let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, hit the like button, share the video as well. That really does help out a lot. Again, YouTube deranks independent political commentary, and I guarantee you, 100%, YouTube is gonna derank this video. They're probably gonna take it down, honestly, because I'm talking about Carlos Maza, the prize boy who tried to take down Stephen Crowder, right? He's the champion of LGBTQ rights, right? I'm literally talking about Carlos Maza here, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna do everything they can to prevent you from watching this video. So sharing the video and liking the video does help out a lot. Like I said, they're gonna derank this to the core. Okay, they're gonna derank this to the core. But Subscribe if you're new to the channel and hit the notification button as well. The next segment involves Don Lemon. Yes, the a member of CNN is facing a lot of controversy. You would expect that, Fredo Cuomo or Chris Cuomo, however he wants to call himself these days, would be the only thing. But now Don Lemon is facing a controversy of his own, and apparently they're going to court. There's rumors about him going to court. But we'll see. I'll read the article with you guys in the next segment. If you cannot stick around for the next segment, I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. And if you are going to be sticking around for the next segment, I'll see you guys in a little bit.